June 30th, Mass at the Grotto.
I would like to welcome the Diocese of Killaloe, Ireland, Hospitalite de Miami, 6th Annual Archdiocese of Miami Pilgrimage to Lourdes.
In Jesus' time, there was no cure for this disease. The only way they could prevent the spread of the disease was to isolate the people who had acquired the disease. In the book of Leviticus, we see a specific regulations imposed on the people who suffer from leprosy. They should wear torn clothes, cover their upper lips, and cry out, "Unclean, unclean." They should live alone and should have to live outside in a camp. They were condemned to live isolated life outside the cities, and their only means of livelihood was to beg for money and food at the side of the road.
How sweet the sound that saves a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now was blind, but now I see.
Busy and dedicated shoppers. Following the footsteps of Bernadette. Bernadette's life path presents the small city of Lourdes in its social and historical context before, during, and after the apparitions of 1858. Saint Bernadette was born here at the Moulin de Boilly, and she lived here happily for 10 years. Love without limits, Saint Bernadette's motto. Saint Bernadette's immediate family. The clergy and the notables. The actual parish church and the baptismal font where Bernadette was baptized. The hospice in 1858, and on the left the actual hospice, and the oratory where Bernadette made her first Holy Communion. It was in this mill that Bernadette was born and where she lived with her family until she was 10 years of age. Video of the mill in operation. Pictures of the mill from the 1850s. The street Rue Bernadette Subaru constitutes the old watermills area in the heart of Bernadette's daily life. She was born and had lived for 10 years at Moulin de Boilly. Then the Subarus family was forced by misfortune to move to several precarious domiciles. Monsieur Lawrence had rented and then bought in 1867 the Moulin Lacadais to preserve Bernadette's father from misery. From there, it's the name of Maison Paternelle, the paternal house. Bernadette Subarus had lived in this room of 16 square meters with her parents, her sister, and both her brothers from May of 1856 until mid-September of 1858. This hovel was the former dungeon of Lourdes, abandoned in 1824. The new parish church, Sacred Heart, was built in the late 1800s and has been in use since 1903. The new parish church's current fame comes from the fact that the baptismal font used for Bernadette was moved from the old St. Peter's Church to this one. On the way to the hospice, we stopped at a quaint park adorned by a statue of Bernadette. The ancient hospice, where on the 3rd of June of 1858 Bernadette received her first communion in the tiny chapel of the hospice, today called the Oratory. This concludes the tour following the steps of Bernadette. I am making sure that I go back home from Lourdes with water from the grotto.